Hello and welcome to the BTSF for PokéSins Season 1 Episode 50, So Near Yet So Far-Fetched. And before I go on to the actual BTSF, people said a lot that I should have given a Minun for the title, but if I start giving Minuns for all the silly titles, we're not going to get anywhere. So I just give Minun for the ones that I personally think are too bad to not go unpunished. But this episode, I hated. I really hated it. And some people have said, oh, you're just looking for things to pick on. I don't look. They're just there, and I have to complain about them, like that con the kid was pulling. It was so ridiculously bad. All of that stuff just came to me immediately, and I'd say it all. So that's why I went into so much detail with how ridiculous it was. And the fact that he got away with it is the real kicker. You know, if it was just a con that he was just tricking idiots into and then got punished, that would be okay, or at least better. But no, he gets completely off with it, and there is just no punishment for him. He learned his lesson, so he goes free. And that is just the worst. I do actually have a few things to talk about, one of which is about suggestions. Because as you may or may not know, there is a suggestions thread linked in the description of most PokéSins episodes, like all new episodes, just not the earlier ones, as well as these BTSFs. Anyway, so I write my script, and then I go there and I find any suggestions that I want to include. And sometimes these suggestions are things that I saw or I thought of, and it's like, no, I won't include that. And then when I see somebody else has had the same idea, I think, well, maybe I should. I reconsider, and then I include it, and I give the person credit for sort of changing my mind. So there are a couple in this one where that was the case, so I thought I'd mention it. Another thing that seems to come up a lot whenever I talk about the fourth wall breaks is, why is this one bad when the other one is good? All of that. Because people seem to really like the fourth wall breaks. I'm fine with fourth wall breaking. It can be very, very funny. But when it's not done right, when it's not done cleverly, when it doesn't make me laugh, then it gets a Minun. And particularly, you should recognise the term half-hearted fourth wall break. That's when they don't even bother trying. It's just a sort of completely offhand, we're barely putting any effort into this joke kind of thing, and that's just the worst kind of fourth wall break. The best ones are the really clever ones, and they're the ones that get plusles. So that's my distinction. If it made me laugh, it gets a plusle. If it didn't, it doesn't. The final thing is something that I noticed when I was editing the video itself, and that a lot of people have picked up on in the comments. And in the bit where the leak turns into an arrow, it occurred to me later on that, in fact, that was just his foot miscoloured. How they managed to miscolour his foot in the colour of the leak, I've no idea, but up until I was like halfway through editing the video, I saw it as just a leak that had turned into an arrow in that sort of anime way where they have inconsistencies that don't make any sense, but you just sort of let them go because it's anime. So I thought it was one of those, but even if it's a miscoloured foot, it's still the one Minun, so I was fine leaving it as the arrow is a leak. The leak is an arrow, that one. I only have the one outtake for this one, so here it is. It's not far-fetched in his... It's not far-fetched in his... It's not far-fetched who needs to bloody stop. And I do actually have a bit of cut content. This is a Minun I had up until I was editing it into the video, and I looked at it again, it's like, actually, that could be interpreted another way, so I cut it, because I wasn't 100% happy with it. And that Minun, you can actually you can see in the actual episode what I was thinking of. So at 8:52, this shot here, I've just realised I can include a shot of it in this video. I was going to say Bulbasaur's miscoloured markings, because those markings on his legs look miscoloured. And I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be highlighting, but then I saw it from another couple of angles, and it is just highlighting, and that seems to be the consistent shade they highlighted. So I decided, you know what, that's not a Minun for the miscolouring, that's just highlighting, I'll let this one go. So that is everything for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description, and I will catch you later.